I ask Stone to just show you what we've been doing on our voice to report, because there are medical transcription tools, I will say this, that works with GPs. It listens to conversations, helps you transcribe your notes. But what ours does differently is it's trained for a particular doctor, understands their voice, understands the templates for the lab, and it gives you a complete report that can actually get sent out to the patient. So it's more than just a transcribing tool. It's actually it's almost as if employing a group of people to edit and format what you actually design, and it's specifically designed for the medical space.
So yes, as if you described, we've got VoiceMD, and that's basically an automatic speech to report system. Yeah. So what we found with labs is labs have like lots of complex processes that they go through to have the final results that they show their clients. But the problem is the clients don't really understand the complexity behind what the lab does. The only thing that the clients see is actually the report, and then they can tell how quickly they got the report. So that's really actually the client's whole perception. And it basically means that for a lab, your report is one of your main products. So we understand that reports are very important. So what our product does, it takes your audio dictation and converts it into a finalized formatted docx report. It's got many different features which we think stands out from like other products. The first is that it uses medical intelligence built in. Our report uses multiple large language model agents, which are trained and fine-tuned on thousands of large medical databases. And then we also have basically an ability to use your previous reports to actually customize the models for your specific medical terminology and your custom vocab. Yeah. We also have fully customizable reports. So what this means is if you have your standard reports and you like it dictating about certain different things in certain different ways, you can give us this template, and then we will base the final template based off your previous templates. And we know with labs, you can have multiple different templates for multiple different tests, and we can also integrate this into the system. We also have a smart template and reporting linking system. So we've found from labs is that sometimes you get a case that you get 50 of every day, and you have to repeat the same description or the same fields constantly. And it's a lot of like waste of time because you're just repeating something based off an existing template. What we can do is basically in the audio transcription, you can say plainly refer to template A for section B. And then it's a smart template automation that looks at that previous template and then autofills the final report based on that. So this is just really to speed up time for the doctor. And so we've also, speaking of speeding up time, we've got an automated summary section. So what we've found is quite a few labs need to have a summary section at the bottom, which basically explains what the report is speaking about. This is especially useful when you have like maybe you're taking your reports to another lab for like more analysis. And so what we can do is we can automate a summary for you, which also saves a lot of time and then reduces human error. And then finally, seamless integration. We know a lot of other labs have similar systems, but we know they actually struggle with, sometimes they only get given a PDF. And so you can't really integrate with it or anything. You're just given a final outcome. What we do is we give you a docx report, which you can actually still edit and customize yourself. So you can still have a role in basically the final outcome. So I'll give you basically a description of what it looks like. So this is just an example of currently, like if you had an audio dictation, this is what the report would look like. As you can see in this report, they had specific heading sections, which they always want to be formatted a certain way, and they always want information within them. So we've structured it like that. You can see it's structured just as how they wanted it. So it's indented in certain places, it's formatted and numbered. And then what we find is we also have ICD-10 codes. So this is useful for when you want to relate it to other things. We have within here, if you want to include figures, we obviously don't have the images, but then you can insert your own images. And then finally, what we find really useful is the summary page. So you need a summary of the whole report. It can automatically do that based on all this previous information. And we know with AI use, it's sometimes difficult to trust because sometimes it can hallucinate. So what we have is a really strict AI that basically, if it's not 100% sure, it says inconclusive. And this can happen if you actually don't include the information or if it's not entirely sure. What we do to also build trust is we basically have a system where you can link back to where it's actually said in the reports. So if you want to see where these measurements are, you click here and then it takes you to this. So this also just helps speed up efficiency. So you can actually make sure everything it's dictating is correct. Yeah, Iffy, anything else you want to add?
So what you'll see here is this tool is more than just an AI. It's actually a bit of an assistant. So it's almost like a typist that's sitting there listening to you and then learning how you talk and how you like your reports to be structured. And typically what will happen is it'll learn those different types of structures for the types of cases that you're doing. And this specific case is histopathology, and then be able to turn that into reports. But basically, it's like a big game changer, right? For the clinics that use our tech, just because what we found is that our AI process, because it's not a single AI, it's actually like a few different AIs working together, actually picks up errors that their typists make. So we have a lower error rate in that space, and then of course it's cheaper and a lot faster. So what will happen is we'll ask for a few things. So let's just assume for now he does his reporting in English, the dictation, right? So typically what we'd do is we'd ask him for maybe 10 different reports where we actually listen to his voice, and then he gives us 10 of their actual reports. We'll take those, we fine tune our AI, and then what happens is, we'll make sure that there's no errors. We customize it for the person's voice, and then they use it. It's quite a simple process.